UFC 319 is in the books, and man, it already feels like the sport hit a reset button. Khamzat Chimaev didn't just beat Dricus Du Plessis. He broke him. 5 rounds of suffocation, 529 strikes to 45, 12 takedowns, 25 minutes of control. This wasn't a fight, it was an execution. And yet, instead of just celebrating the new champ, fans are split. Half the arena was on their feet screaming in awe. The other half, booing, calling it boring, calling Chimaev overrated. That right there is what makes this so interesting. Because whether you love him or hate him, Chimaev is the middleweight king. And now the only question that matters is this: who's next? And trust me, there are some insane options on the table. Let's start with the obvious one: Israel Adesanya. Yes, Izzy's been up and down lately. He lost his belt to Strickland, got it back, and then lost again. He's not the invincible sniper he once looked like back in 2019. But here's the thing: Adesanya is still a star. He's still the guy casual fans know. And if you put his name across from Chimaev in Abu Dhabi this October at UFC 321, that arena sells out in 5 minutes. Style-wise, this fight is fascinating. Adesanya is a master of distance, angles, and feints. Chimaev wants to close that distance, shoot a double leg, and drag him into the mud. It's classic striker versus grappler. It's the matchup we've all been dreaming about. Now, some fans will say Izzy doesn't deserve the shot. But let's be honest, since when has the UFC cared about deserve? They care about pay-per-view buys. They care about star power. And Adesanya's name still rings louder than almost anyone else at 185. Next up, Sean Strickland. You want chaos? You want entertainment? Book this fight tomorrow. Strickland's not scared of anybody. He walks forward. He talks trash mid-fight. And he doesn't care if he gets smashed, he'll keep swinging. That's what makes him dangerous. But here's the reality: Strickland's biggest weakness is wrestling defense. And Chimaev just showed the world what happens when you can't stop his takedown. You get mauled. Now here's where things get spicy. Strickland has been campaigning hard on social media these last few days, posting memes, talking about how Chimaev is all hype. He knows exactly how to poke the bear, and the UFC loves that kind of drama. If they want fireworks at the press conference, Strickland is the move. The build-up alone would sell the fight. But inside the octagon, that's where it gets ugly. I honestly think Chimaev drowns him in less than 3 rounds. Now, let's talk about the nuclear option: Alex Pereira. Yeah, I know. He's the current light heavyweight champ. He's walking around at 220 pounds, looking like a Marvel villain. But let's not pretend the UFC wouldn't pull him back down for the right fight. Think about it. Pereira versus Chimaev is the striker versus grappler super fight of our era. Pereira's left hook is the deadliest weapon in MMA right now. Chimaev's wrestling is the most suffocating. It's the ultimate question: can Pereira land before Chimaev drags him down? And if he does land, does Chimaev's chin hold up? This is the fight that would break the internet. And honestly, with Pereira teasing big news on his Instagram yesterday, don't be surprised if the UFC is already cooking this one up behind the scenes. But hold on, it doesn't end there. What about Robert Whittaker? He's still hanging around, still sharp, still dangerous. Or Ikram Aliskerov, the dark horse prospect who's been steamrolling through the division. The UFC could shock everyone and give Chimaev a fresh matchup just to build his title run. And let's not forget, October's Abu Dhabi card is already being teased as one of the biggest of the year. Dana White himself said, "We're putting something special together." So don't be shocked if a curveball gets thrown our way. In history, it's Pereira. But no matter who it is, one thing's clear. After UFC 319, Chimaev isn't just the champ, he's the standard. He turned Du Plessis into a highlight reel of domination.